Hi everyone, Terrell from Sunground here. I'm the developer of the Silver Falls games. If you just missed my previous video, where I've been dealing with some pretty critical difficulties with the development environment for getting our last 3DS game finished working and in a state where I can submit that to Nintendo so they can put that on the eShop for everyone. So the past month has been brutal. I've been working on this thing, and it stopped working on the original 3DS, which means I couldn't submit it to Nintendo. So I've been working my butt off. Today was really the last day where I could afford to try to get it working. I was preparing to deliver bad news to everyone, and yeah, I had to keep tearing apart the game and rebuilding it and reconstructing it, trying to re-engineer it. And I have the game, Gaiden Deathly Delusion Destroyers, now running stably, reliably, good frame rate. It's stable, it's working completely. That is now working on all 3DS models, which means I can finally finish the last parts of the game. I can finish the soundtrack, I can finish the testing, and hopefully I can send that through to Nintendo before the end of this week. So it's been an absolute slog. It's 1 a.m. right now. I'm absolutely exhausted. But really what's kept me going is everyone around the world showing your support and letting me know how much you enjoy the Silver Falls games and letting me know that you're really looking forward to these titles. It really means a lot to me. It's it's why I've kept going. I could have stopped at any point at this point. I've released a number of games this year. It's exhausting working on this many titles and not stopping, and I've been updating the titles that I've launched so I can take into account requests and I can fix bugs. We still have these titles that I'm working on, and it's thanks to all of you. All of you have been so incredible and so supportive, and I appreciate that, so I want to make sure I work my absolute hardest. And Nintendo has been incredible. They've been amazing, and they've given me this opportunity. They've held the door open so that I can try to get some last minute games to you all so that we can all just enjoy the 3DS and the Wii U one last time before the eShops close up. So I'm absolutely excited that I was able to get, this is my original hope was to get as many games as I could out, but it's working on all the models. Really what I had to do, I kept tearing how I finally got Gaiden Deathly Delusion Destroyers working on original 3DS models when Unity is not really meant to be used for original 3DS. It was really meant for new 3DS. So what I had to do was eventually I just tore the game into little chunks and pieces, and I figured out where parts of the game were putting a little bit too much pressure on the memory, and I figured out what assets. I decided there's certain assets I can just keep loaded in memory and never load them out, so they always exist. And that actually was better than trying to load them in at a particular point, which was actually causing more issues. And things like the story events in the Gaiden Deathly Delusion Destroyers. In a normal game, you could just call those at any point, no matter where you are in the game, you can call those events. So what I did was I tore those out of the main game entirely, and I sort of sectioned it off in its own little world. So now when the game does need to play events, it actually it really just takes the player out of the main game and sort of tucks them away in this pocket dimension where it doesn't have to take into account. Right, so I'm very excited to get Gaiden Deathly Delusion Destroyers out to all of you. It's very likely going to be my very last 3DS title. I really can't handle developing Vicarious Bros at this point. I got sick a couple times in 2022. It really slowed me down. And there's no way I could get that to Nintendo in time before the eShop closes. So, hey, we got a heap of games out anyway, didn't we? So I'm very excited about that. I'm really hoping Nintendo can process this and get this out onto the eShop so that you can all enjoy it. I've worked extremely hard on this, and our testers have been giving me very positive feedback, and they've been saying they really enjoy the RPG mechanics. I'm a massive RPG fan myself. It's my favorite genre, and while this isn't a traditional RPG, it's not like a Final Fantasy or anything. It's what I call a battle RPG, where it's mainly focused on a battle system that has a massive amount of depth and customization. There's new missions every hour, every day, and every week, and you have to build your team with your setup, your loadouts, your equipment, and your skills, and your party members to try to complete these very difficult missions. So it's always something new and interesting and fresh. And yeah, it's 1 a.m. I believe it's time for me to get some shut-eye. I'll be waking up early to get back to work. I have the rest of the soundtrack for Deathly Delusion Destroyers that I need to finish. And the game, it's a 2-in-1. There's Ruby River that's packaged in with Gaiden Deathly Delusion Destroyers, and I have a bit of work to do on that to finish it and get that ready. So hopefully I can submit this to Nintendo this week. And then hopefully that will launch early next year. And if with any luck, we'll get this out onto the eShop at the very last minute. We can all just grab it before the shop closes up. So, massive thanks to Nintendo for their incredible support. Thank you to all of you for cheering me on. I really appreciate that. It's really fantastic, and I'm glad that we can all enjoy games together. Please take care. Hey, and I'll see you soon in Silver Falls.